In this project, we're going to take a look at using the Gertboard to control some real bits and pieces now. When we did the introduction project, we're just using the demonstration software and one or two little bits and pieces. So the idea now is to use the Gertboard to provide real-time control of a Scalextric car as it goes around this track. So here we've got a classic Scalextric track, a little bit smaller than most of them, but we made it so it's easy to see. All the principles remain exactly the same. We've got the car. Here is the basic controller that's generally used. I'm going to now plug the controller in and just show you the car working on its normal operational mode. So this is the controller. Here's the actual wire. This goes into the Scalextric's control box right here. So put this into number 2. I'll plug this into the mains. The red light's on, that means we've got power. So let us now just move the car around the track. There we go. This is using standard off-the-shelf Scalextric's equipment. Now for this project, we're going to replace this controller with the control via a Gertboard, and we'll provide a variety of ways of controlling the actual speed of the car, one of which will be using a little rheostat connected to the Gertboard directly, all the way over to actually controlling the speed of the car through the web browser. Again, these are basic approaches that were introduced as part of the Gertboard introduction project. So let's look first of all at some of the wiring changes that we have to make to drive the Scalextric car directly. So first of all, this is the basic controller. We're going to replace that. So what we do is we take the controller and we're going to make a open it all up and pull out the wire. So this is a wire that comes from Scalextric system. Now this actually has 3 wires. It's got you can see here the red wire, the black wire, and there's a green wire. And these 3 wires are connected to a rheostat inside of there. We only need the red wire and the black wire. So the green wire has been taped down, protected. And it's important because the green wire actually, when it's plugged in, when this is plugged in, the green wire will be carrying a current on it. We've cut off this. So we're going to use a standard connector for the Scalextric system. That's important. We want to use as much of the standard kit as possible. So we're going to plug this into the Scalextric transformer box there. We won't need the power from the transformer itself. These will now be connected to the Gertboard, and we'll use the Gertboard to control the value of the voltage that comes down there. When you take a look at the wiring diagrams, and those are available as part of the instruction set, Scalextric Track here requires about a 15 volt charge on average is what comes out of this device here, and can take upwards of between 0.5 and 1 amp depending upon the size of the track. And the speed of the car is determined by the voltage applied across these 2 track points here. There's a standard electric motor inside of the car. The higher the voltage, the faster the car moves. And as you use these systems here, basically you're varying the rheostat value, which varies the voltage, which varies the speed of the car. So if we're going to remove the power from the normal transformer, what are we going to replace it by? Well, there's 2 approaches. One is to use a standard battery pack like this. This provides a 12 volt output, which is more than enough to drive the car at a substantial speed. Even though it's not the full 15 volt, it still gives you a large speed. A more substantive way is to use this switch mode power supply box that we've got here. This allows us to control the actual voltage specifically and do some experiments with it. So we will actually be making use of this switch mode power supply here. Both of these replace the DC output that would normally come from this device here. This cable is connected to a transformer which converts from the mains into the 15 volt supply. We're still going to leave that attached because we'll be racing against the standard car configuration. So there's 2 tracks on there. When you insert into there, I have a white car later on that will be using the normal controller, And in number 2 here will be the red car that's going to be controlled via the Gertboard. And we'll have a little race. So, what we're going to do in the next few minutes is take you through the details of wiring all that up and making it all work. Then we'll demonstrate the software and show you the cars under control